So the last thing that we'll take a look at today here is actually converting between the metric and the imperial systems. So we talked a little bit earlier on about how we here in Canada work relatively seamlessly between both the imperial and the metric system. And sometimes you will be called upon to make a quick conversion. So one thing to be aware of is based on the chart that we have here, or the table of conversion that we have in front of us, if you want to convert from the imperial, which is always on the left-hand side of the equal sign, to the imperial, or sorry, from the metric, which is on the left-hand side of the equal sign, to the imperial, which is on the right-hand side, again, if we're moving from metric to imperial, then we're going to be dividing by the conversion rate. Okay. However, if we're going to be moving from the imperial side to the metric side, what we end up doing is multiplying by the conversion rate. So that's one important distinction there. Okay. So let's do a couple of examples just so that we're on track with this and see how things are going to go. So we want to, if we look here at question 7, it says that if a wall is measured to be 14 feet long, what is its measurement in centimeters? So we know that feet is imperial, and we're trying to convert imperial into metric. So because we're going from imperial to metric, we're going to divide by our conversion rate. And so, oh sorry, we're going to actually multiply, my apologies, we're going to multiply by our conversion rate. So in order to multiply that, our conversion rate here is 30.48. Okay, so I'm going to take 14 feet. I'm going to multiply that by the conversion rate of 30.48, and that's going to give me the number of centimeters that it makes up. So very quickly, if I do 14 times 30.48, it's going to give me 426 centimeters. Well, 426.72 centimeters. Okay, so that's, and this is going to give me centimeters. So you want to always include the units at the end. Okay, so let's do a second example. It says if a container has a volume of 4 liters, what is its volume in gallons? So here we're trying to go from liters to gallons. So we're going from the metric to the imperial. So if we're going to go from metric to imperial, that means we're going to be dividing by the conversion rate. And so if we look at our table of values, to go from liters to gallons, that means we're going to be dividing by 3.785. So I'm going to be dividing that by 3.785. So I've got 4 liters, and then I'm going to divide it by my conversion rate of 3.785, and that's going to convert into however many gallons I have. So 4 divided by 3.785 is going to give me approximately 1.06 gallons. Okay. So again, when you're doing your conversions from metric to metric, or metric to imperial, or even imperial to metric, or metric to imperial, you're either multiplying or dividing based upon your conversion rate that's given to you in the table. Okay, so that's a helpful skill to be able to have as you're going forward. But this one in particular, example number 8 here, would be really useful to you if you're ever driving into the United States, because the US, they sell their gasoline and diesel in gallons as opposed to liters. So if you're going to buy 10 gallons of gasoline, note that it's going to roughly amount to 40 liters. Okay,